So in this video I'm going to show you how to work out what the fibre content in a yarn is using fire, so matches or a lighter or something along those lines. And all we're going to be doing is just setting fire to the end of a piece of yarn, and the reaction that will have to the fire is how we will be able to tell what the yarn contains. So let's get started with the video. So firstly I am going to use this yarn here, which I know is a 100% Jacob wool because I do still have the tag. I'm actually just going to set fire to this little strand here instead of cutting into the hank so I don't damage it. So I'm just going to get my matches and I'm going to see what happens. And just a little disclaimer, fire's hot, be careful, don't burn yourself. So I'm just going to light my match, if it will. There we go. So this is pure wool. And what you will see, it doesn't really set on fire. And if it does, it just burns out and fizzles quite easily. And what you can't see is that it absolutely stinks. Because it is, well, it's hair. So if you know what burnt hair smells like, this is somewhere along the lines of what it will smell like. And you can see the end goes very, very black. It doesn't burn very much. And it crumbles when you crush it. Okay? So that's what happens to wool. It smells bad, it doesn't set on fire, it just burns away bit by bit, and the bit on the end crumbles to a sort of ash. So that is what happens to wool. So next up is this, which is 100% pure cotton. I'm going to show you what happens when we set fire to that one. So I'll just get my matches. Okay. So when we set fire to cotton, as you can see, it lights and it continues to burn. And it burns away, sorry, just had that out of frame then. It burns away and it stays quite red on the end. And what it smells like is burning paper. Or very much like burning paper. It doesn't smell bad at all, it smells quite nice actually. And again, it doesn't actually have a lot of ash to it. It sort of just burns away to nothing. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is this, which I know is a 100% acrylic yarn. So, obviously acrylic is a synthetic man-made fibre. So we'll light the match, and this reacts very differently. So it does flame quite badly, as you can see. That set fire quite intensely, and obviously I had to blow it out for safety purposes. And what you might be able to see is it forms a sort of blob, and this, when you press it, obviously still hot, is very hard. It doesn't crumble away like the animal fibre does. It's quite solid, and it essentially turns, because it's synthetic, it is plastic, it turns into a little blob of plastic. It doesn't have an awful lot of smell. If you were to set fire to this whole ball, it would probably smell very, very toxic, obviously, because it probably is, but it doesn't really have an awful lot of smell when you just burn in a very small amount. So if it makes a solid ball on the end like that you can't sort of crush very easily between your fingertips, it's probably an acrylic. So that's obviously the three main types of fibres. We have animal fibre, so wool, angora, alpaca, things like that. Then we have plant fibre, so cotton and bamboo. And then we have the synthetic fibres, the man-made fibres like acrylic and nylon and things along those lines. Now what I just want to show you, obviously this is only sort of accurate to a certain level, and it can be hard once you start getting blends. Every single one of the ones I've just shown you has been 100% of what I showed you, so 100% wool, 100% acrylic and 100% cotton. This one, I don't know the percentages in it, but I know it is a blend of wool and acrylic. And what I want to see if I can show you, it might not be very easy for me to show you, but I will try. So I'll just light my match. With this one, there is some melting. It's not lighting quite as easily as the other one did. So it's not really setting fire. Now it is. So it's caught a bit of the sort of synthetic. Now what happens with this, I can tell from the way it's burned that it is a combination. And I can tell that, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, I don't think you will. I can't really get it up as close as I'd like, unfortunately. But the reason you can tell is because it does still make the same little blobs on the end that this one made. So it's got that, and it's quite hard. However, when you do pinch it between your fingers, there's a little bit of ash, like in the original, like in the wool. But you've still got, you can see where it's all broken apart now, there's a little lump, a little ball of sort of plastic on the end, and this that's crumbling down into ash is the animal part of the fibre, so that's the wool. So we don't know what animal it is. It could be alpaca, it could be wool, but we know that there's an animal fibre in there, which means that there is the potential for felting. The chances are it wouldn't felt because it's mainly synthetic, but we also know that it's synthetic because we have these solid sort of melted lumps on the end. Plus, when I smell my fingers now, after crumbling this little bit, it smells. It's got that burnt hair smell again. So, I hope that helps you work out what fibre your mystery yarns contain. And thank you so much for watching.